New York, 1930. The streets are dark, smoky, and alive with whispers of power. Behind every speakeasy door, a secret war is being fought, not with soldiers, but with bullets, betrayal, and blood. This is the story of the Castellammarese War, the brutal conflict that gave birth to America's modern mafia. And in the next 19 minutes, you'll see how ambition, revenge, and greed carved a bloody path through the city, changing organized crime forever. The year is 1920. America has just enacted Prohibition, banning the sale and consumption of alcohol. But humans are human, and where there is demand, supply finds a way. Enter the gangs. Across the country, criminal empires are rising, smuggling whiskey, rum, and gin into the hands of desperate drinkers. New York is no exception. In this city, organized crime is no longer a petty affair. It's big business, and two factions are about to collide. On one side, Joe Masseria, known as the boss of bosses, an old-school mafioso who rules with fear and loyalty. On the other, Salvatore Maranzano, a rival faction leader from Castellammarese del Golfo in Sicily, hungry for control of New York's criminal empire. Between them, the city teeters on the edge of chaos. Masseria, a man of violence and cunning, built his empire on intimidation. He demanded respect, loyalty, and obedience. Cross him and bullets were swift. Maranzano, by contrast, was strategic, patient, and ruthless. A man who believed the old Sicilian codes of power were the key to victory. And then there was a new generation of ambitious men, led by a young Giuseppe "Lucky" Luciano, smart, fearless, and willing to break the old rules. Luciano would play both sides, manipulating alliances with precision. He understood one truth. In this war, the old ways were dying, and only the bold would survive. By 1930, New York is a powder keg. Every murder, every betrayal, every act of bribery feeds the tension. Speakeasies become battlegrounds. Police struggle to contain the chaos. Innocent bystanders are caught in crossfire. And behind the scenes, Masseria and Maranzano plot their next moves like generals preparing for war. Luciano sees the futility of blind loyalty. He begins reaching out to dissatisfied gangsters on both sides, promising protection, power, and a new way of doing business. Secret meetings take place in the shadows, dimly lit rooms where deals are made, alliances forged, and betrayal planned. February 1931. The Castellammarese War officially erupts. Bullets fly through the streets, bodies drop in alleys, and speakeasy owners pay protection money under duress. Murders are swift and ruthless. No one is safe, not even the most trusted lieutenants. And amid the chaos, Luciano makes his move. Luciano negotiates secretly with Maranzano. He convinces him that Masseria must be eliminated to end the cycle of endless violence. Then, in a bold and calculated strike, Masseria is assassinated in a Coney Island restaurant, shot dead while sipping his morning coffee. One bullet, changes the balance of power forever. With Masseria gone, Maranzano briefly becomes the undisputed boss of bosses, but victory is fleeting. Luciano, ambitious and cunning, sees the fragility of this new order. Maranzano, a traditionalist, enforces strict old-world codes that threaten the new generation of gangsters. Luciano begins plotting, and soon, Maranzano meets the same fate as Masseria. Assassinated in his Manhattan office, his reign ends in a swirl of blood and betrayal. Luciano emerges as the mastermind, the architect of the modern American Mafia. He reorganizes the families, establishes a commission to prevent future bloody wars, and sets the rules that will govern organized crime for decades. The old Sicilian ways are dead. A new, structured criminal empire rises from the ashes. The Castellammarese War didn't just change the Mafia, it changed America. Prohibition created the perfect storm for crime. Gang violence forced law enforcement and politicians into corrupt partnerships. And in the shadow of speakeasies and smoky back rooms, a new criminal culture was born. One that would inspire movies, books, and generations of gangsters worldwide. Lucky Luciano's vision, ruthless, calculated, and pragmatic, turned a chaotic war into a lasting empire. It was a world of betrayal, loyalty, blood, and ambition. A world where one bullet could decide the fate of an entire city. History remembers the names: Masseria, Maranzano, Luciano. But it also reminds us of something else. Ambition without limits, loyalty enforced by violence, and the thirst for power can shape cities, societies, and even entire nations. What happened on those dark New York streets almost a century ago still echoes in the Mafia's shadow today. The Castellammarese War may have ended in bullets and betrayal, but its legacy lives on. And the question remains, in a world where power is the ultimate prize, how far would you go to claim it? If you thought this story was shocking, there are countless secrets hidden in the shadows of history, waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe, because the next story will take you even deeper into the dark underworld of crime. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing videos.